want to start here. You look at the NFC East, right? The NFC East, the NFC least, no matter what you want to call it, every team in that division has 3 wins. The only team that has less than 7 losses is the Philadelphia Eagles. They have 6, and they have a tie. So that is the difference for them. They have that tie at 3-6-1. Mm-hmm. Looking at, I mean, there's a lot of different things to look at. To me, if I look at who I think is the best team in the NFC East at this point in time, I got to say the New York Giants. But they're not a good football team. But I got to say I think it's the Giants. But I almost think the Eagles are still going to win this division. How do you see it?
I don't see it that way. If the Cowboys' defense continues to improve and Andy Dalton stays healthy, I like the Cowboys.
Like the Cowboys.
I think if they can run the ball with CeeDee Lamb and them, that was a big win against Minnesota the other day. But that defense for the Cowboys has picked it up. They got that kid back that was suspended. You got 2 good defensive ends on the pass rushers, and that defense is pretty good. They just got to hold up on the back end, and they got Vanden Bosch back. So, I mean, I like the Cowboys if they can run the football.
If they can run the football, okay. Let's look at this. Let's look at this. We look at. I'm gonna put the Eagles' schedule up on the screen. Let's start with the Eagles' schedule. You know, they have the next 6 games. It's not going to be easy. Philadelphia's schedule. The next 6 games. It's going to be actually kind of brutal. The next 6 for Philadelphia. So let's do this. Let's do this and share what we got to share and put it up, and we can take a look at it. So we look at the Eagles' schedule, right? Let's look at the Eagles' schedule. It's up there.
That's a tough schedule.
So we look at Philadelphia, Seattle on Monday Night Football. That's going to be difficult. If we look at the next week, you got Green Bay at Green Bay. Then you host the New Orleans Saints. Then you go to Arizona. You go to Dallas, and you finish up with Washington at home. Looking at this schedule, 6 games here. I looked at this.
Maybe 2-4. Maybe.
I came up with 3-3, and I say they're gonna get one of these 4. They're gonna get either one. I think they're gonna get Seattle this week, but they're either gonna get Seattle, Green Bay, New Orleans, and Arizona. They're gonna get one of those games, and they're gonna sweep the last 2. So I have them going 6-9-1.
You know what? I see them getting I see them getting maybe Dallas. They're at Dallas. Right. So I see them getting maybe the last game Washington, because and that's going to be a tough out. But them other games, man, the only game I see them getting because they're at home, maybe Seattle or New Orleans, because they're coming to play on grass. It's going to be cold. I don't see Green Bay. I don't see Arizona. I don't see those 2 games. I don't think they're going to win. The only games I see them, I don't think they can win at Dallas. I think it's going to be the Seattle or Seattle, New Orleans, or the Washington game.
So you figure 2-4 or like 3-3.
2-4, maybe 3-3.
Okay, so I have them at
the way Wentz is playing. If he continues to turn the ball over, it might not be 2-4.
That's true. That is true. I say 3-3, but I think they get one of these 4, either Seattle, Green Bay, New Orleans, or Arizona. I think they get Seattle, and I think they beat Dallas and Washington, and they finish 6-9-1. So we looked at Philadelphia, right? So we say, let's look at Dallas. Let's click on Dallas here. All right.
And prayers out to Marcus Paul, a great man who was a trainer. He was a strength and conditioning coach under Mike Walsh when I played for the Saints, and he had an emergency rush to the hospital today. I don't know the situation. I just want to pray for him and his family. He's he was an All-American at Syracuse. Paul, I don't know if you heard about him, and he got drafted in the 4th round, played in the league, and he's been strength and conditioning for the last 20 some years.
Most definitely, prayers out to him. Hopefully he can get through this, especially when you consider the situation. You know, we have the Thanksgiving holiday coming up, so that would be a tough situation for any family to deal with. So prayers out to him and his family. And so, you know, we look at the Dallas Cowboys, right? We look at their schedule.
I'm looking at that. Cincinnati's going to probably be a win.
That's a win.
Versus Washington at home should be a win. That's 2. Yeah. And then you have Philly and the Giants. San Francisco going to be a good game. So I think they could go. I'm looking at this schedule. They could go 4-2.
4-2. I look at this schedule, right, and I see a win at Washington, a loss at Baltimore,
win versus Cincinnati,
a win versus Cincinnati. San Francisco, I don't know if Jimmy G's going to be there. That's up in the air.
They're going to win. They're going to win one of those last 2, and they can win. They can win the 49er game.
I think they're going to go 3-3. I think they'll lose to Baltimore. I think they'll lose to Philadelphia, and I think they'll lose to New York. I have them going 3-3.
They're playing Philly at home. You said they're going to lose.
I think they'll lose to Philly.
Okay,
so that puts the Cowboys at 3-3.
I'm not agreeing. I think they beat Philly. I think the Giants game will be tougher. I think they beat Philly, they beat Cincinnati, and they beat Washington. I think those 3 are given.
Okay, so you have what, 3-3?
3-3 or 4-2.
3-3 and 4-2.
Or 4-2. If that defense continues to play and they run the ball, if Ezekiel plays like he played, he look better, and they got the other running back, and they got CD Lamb.
Pollard.
They got to play. So if they step up and play, and they should be motivated, Mark, with everything going on, they could go 4-2. But that defense has to go and step up.
Okay, so let's 4-2. Let's look at the Giants. I think they'll go 3-3. Looking at the Cowboys, so I think they'll finish at 6-10. Let's look at the Giants, another team I think who's playing possibly the best football in the division at this point. I'm not saying the Giants are good. I'm not saying any of these teams are good because they're not. None of these teams are good, but I think the Giants are playing the best football in the division at this point, and that's not really saying much, but it's saying something.
Who they got?
So the Giants at Cincinnati without Burrow.
That's a win.
That's a win. At Seattle, I think that's a loss. Arizona at home.
Probably a loss.
That go either way. Cleveland at home. I think that's a win.
That can go either way. I think they could go 2-4 looking at this. Seattle's a loss. Arizona, Cleveland, and Baltimore could all be losses. So the only win I see is Cincinnati. Possibly they could go. They got a tough schedule. I see 2-4 right there.
I see 3.
Maybe 3-3. Maybe 3-3. Maybe.
I see a win at Cincinnati. I see a win over either Arizona or Cleveland, and I see a win against the Dallas. So I put them at 3-3. That's 6-10. In my opinion, that's 6-10. Let's look at Washington. I look at Washington. I think Washington's going to have a tough road. I know Philly's going to have a tough road as well. Don't get me wrong. But I think Washington's road is going to be just as tough. Let's look at it. So we have Washington now. At Dallas, I think they lose. At Pittsburgh, I think they lose. At San Francisco, that's questionable. It's up in the air.
That's a tough one.
That's a tough one. Seattle at home, that's another tough one.
Lose.
Carolina at home.
That's a tough game.
They can go either way, and then at Philly to end it.
That's a tough schedule. 1-5 maybe.
That's what I say. 1-5, 2-4 if they're lucky. Yeah. So based on the way I look at it, this is based on the way I look at it. And you might be surprised, but you might not be surprised. I think the Eagles get it at 6-9-1.
We'll see.
6-9.
I'm going Cowboys. I'm going Cowboys.
You're going Cowboys, okay? So I think the Eagles do it at 6-9-1. But that's probably some wishful thinking on my part.